What's up, everyone? Thomas here. I've gone through my first two spools on my K1C, and I thought I'd give it a proper review. Off the bat, it's exceeded all my expectations. I am new to 3D printing, but I do have that 3D modeling experience in Blender, and I thought I'd give it a go. And I'm just blown away by what I'm able to do, prototype, and build in just a short period of time. So, the first project I thought I'd tackle is a project I've wanted to do for at least 5 years, and it's create my own RC car, robot, and just be able to build it from scratch. And this machine has given me that ability. So I did try to find some reviews on like how to get a blender to Creality workflow, and it seemed like there wasn't much there. So I didn't want to learn another 3D modeling program. So I just went into Blender and went for it. And I figured out a few things on the way, and it's only been like 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks since I've had the printer. And I've been able to really get a good workflow. And what I found out, it's best to do about a 6x6 plate. Anything larger than that, I've noticed I've had some issues with. So I have like my frame system here, and then these are my frame end caps. This is my old drive gear. I actually have a new drive gear. It's over here. This is where I'm prototyping my tank. My new drive gear, I'm still prototyping a bit, but I'm trying to make it more modular and separate it a bit so I'm not creating one large piece. It's really grinding through my spools, but I'm pretty happy with what I've done. So I prototype my treads, and everything I'm trying to create, I want to create scalable and modular. So if I want to make changes, I don't have to make changes to everything. So I made this in three separate pieces, and now I'm going to add a TPU print for the top, the soft rubber. So like I said, I haven't had this ability before, and it's pretty fantastic. So when I want to do a print, all I got to do if I make changes to something is grab my plate, I export to STL, and then I just click this selection only, and then I'm usually good to go. Then I bring it into Creality Print, and you know, sometimes you got to tweak things out. Like you'll see that it adds footing where there's not footings, and maybe you don't have your geometry perfectly straight. But soon as you get it, there's no reason to not have that workflow between Blender and 3D printing. It just is fantastic. All of this was built in Blender. All right, let me switch cameras and give you a quick overview of what I've actually built. So with the frame pieces, I was able to build this whole frame for my tank, even give these bottom supports. Now I'm not 100% happy with how large they are, but it's good prototyping. The rest of the frame I was super happy with. I originally designed the frame for the insert to go on the other side, but what I needed to do is extend the gear from the track a bit. So I was able to put it there, and I was thinking about putting another support system inside here. I found this real cool snap rotation wheel, and I've totally modified it to fit with my system. And I'm getting good rotations here with it. Like I said, I've changed things up a bit, and now I'm using this whole gear to insert inside this cap. And then what we have in there are these cylinder bearings. And it's working really well. So for a prototype, I'm super happy that I went this route instead of going with like a wheel bearing. The gear I also did with bools in Blender. I had to scale it up a bunch of times to get it right. You can see, let me grab my first build. So this was my first build, and you can see how much larger I scaled up that gear to actually work. Now this first gear was built in Blender and it looked like it worked, but it didn't. So I had to scale it up, but I did not make any changes other than scaling it up. And then I started making it look cool. The treads I made are kind of beyond my comprehension on how they came out so good. They're flexible, they snap into place, they build incredibly easy. There's just a few little things I have to do, and that's clean out the holes with this little Allen key, and then punch these holes out just a little bit larger with this insert. That's about it. I just punch punch this through a little bit, and then so then this piece was snapped right on top of there, and it's just working great. So the main thing I was trying to learn is the scaling, and then learning how to make sure you get good prints. So you can see when I had this initial design, you know, I got a good print on the backside, but the overall print was horrible trying to get this to print properly. This was a one piece, each tread I was trying to print in one whole piece. And then finally, you know, I started realizing I need to make things more slim, but even this size was too rigid, it would snap. So getting that perfect size was something incredible. You know, it's got some good flex, it's not going to break. It's so cool. So the other thing that happened was I've had a couple complete failures, and if I didn't catch the machine, I'm not sure what would happen because it was really banging around. And you can see how it lost its calibration here. It's like an inch off. It was trying to duplicate, you know, the print here. It was a fatal error. And when I stopped the printer, it actually, you know, when it reset itself, it didn't know where it was at, and it slammed the side. And this has happened twice so far, and that's in 2 spools. And I'm not sure what would happen if I didn't catch it, if the printer would have broke. So I'd watch out and make sure, you know, you really have your printer on a solid foundation. And then both of these happen when I really push the print size. So staying to that 6x6 plate has kind of eliminated this issue. This is when I try to print some larger plates, like pushing the 8x8 size. Other than that, this printer has just surpassed my expectations, and I'm looking forward to just continuing this 3D printing journey, and I hope you follow along with me. Thanks a lot for watching.